Welcome to the channel, guys. Today I'm doing a fragrance list, but before I get into that, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate the support and it helps me grow my channel. So today's fragrance list was actually thought up by somebody on Facebook. I really do wish I knew who started this chain so I could give them credit, but I thought it was a fun topic and I thought I would make a video of it. So this is basically a list of fragrances that So for fragrance that I hate, I'm going with 40 Knots by Xerjoff. I don't know if I hate this one as much as it was absolutely not what I was expecting, as I did smell it a little bit again recently and it's not that bad. But to me it was one that I really thought was going to be something great for the summer, very fresh, niche style, blue fragrance, unique. And I mean, it is definitely unique, but I get a lot of spicy, rosy, sort of amberiness. This really comes across to me more as a fall or winter fragrance, and I know for a fact that the disappointment there certainly contributed a little bit. It was definitely not one that I was expecting, and when I did put it on, I really was expecting something fresher, something bluer, something more marine and aquatic, and that is definitely not what I got with this fragrance. So I'm going to revisit it again in the colder months. Maybe my opinion of it will then change. But for now, I definitely do not like it. So this is the one that of course is going to get me lynched, and this is fragrance that I think is overrated, and I went with Baccarat Rouge 540 by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. It's not so much that I think this is bad per se, I just think that it gets way more hype than it deserves. And for me, I get a really strong dentist vibe. I know a lot of people have talked about like the dentist office and latex and stuff. And predominantly for me on my skin, and even when I smell it from the bottle, that's mostly what I get. And so for me, that's not so enjoyable. I don't really get tons of the cotton candy. I do get a sweetness in the air if I catch it in the air. The other thing I don't like it is I can hardly smell it when I'm wearing it. So, I mean, for me, I really like to wear a fragrance because I enjoy it. And if I can't smell it at all, that's definitely a minus. Now, I will say this is definitely one that other people enjoy. I've gotten compliments with it before. I have gotten noticed wearing this fragrance, and I have asked other people what they think about it, and of course they've enjoyed it. So it is definitely a mass appealing fragrance. I just think, I guess, especially with the way it wears on my skin, that it's not as good as everyone says it is. So for the next one, a fragrance I think that's underrated, I'm going with Sawmill by Solstice Scents. I'm saying this is underrated because I think a lot of people probably haven't heard of Solstice Scents. They do like really ambient kind of fragrances and colognes, and they do have some really nice selections there. This is one that I really like because it's a very nice masculine woody fragrance that comes across a lot like a fresh cut piece of wood, and there's definitely this sort of sawdust feeling in there too, and I really enjoy the woody masculine vibe. It's really just tons and tons of really fresh smelling wood. So if that's something you like, definitely something you would probably enjoy, and you should check it out. Fragrance I love, I'm going with Voodoo by Genre Parfums. You might have noticed, of course, this one is right here now. This is my favorite of the originals. I really love the grapefruit. I love the fresh vetiver. I love the way it works together, and it just wears really well, and it's very well performing on my skin as well. And I have definitely gotten a few compliments with that one as well. But honestly, that's one that I wear mostly for me because I love the way that it smells, and it's something that I just like having on. Fragrance that I cherish, I'm going with Black Phantom by Guerlain. This is one of the first fragrances that I thought of as a 10 out of 10, and it's one that I thought of as a 10 out of 10 the second I smelled it. I was really blown away. And I also really enjoy the bottle design of this one. I just think that these style of Guerlain bottles are just beautiful looking. They're gorgeous. They are also refillable if I end up getting a refill one day. And of course it comes with this really awesome, coffer as well, which is pretty badass looking. So, I mean, this is one that I really love, really cherish. And it's also one that originally it's not a cheap fragrance, and I originally had always sort of priced it out of what I was willing to pay for. And I did end up getting a good deal on this one, and I'm very happy about that, because it is one that's in my collection and I'm so happy that it's there. It's beautiful, the presentation is stunning. There's really nothing bad I have to say about this fragrance. Definitely one that'll get you noticed. It's definitely sensual and seductive, so I think This is also a good one to wear with the ladies, and I do enjoy it a lot. Fragrance that I never get tired of, I am going with Viktor & Rolf Spice Bomb Extreme. This is one that I totally wait for the winter months to come along just so I can wear this, because it is a little bit harder to pull off in the summer or in the heat. But it is one that, it's one that I actually, not only do I never get tired of this one, I just like it more and more over time. It is beautiful. I love the spiciness, the sweetness. It just comes across so well to me, and I really, really enjoy it. To me, it's also a 10 out of 10 fragrance. I love it. I will probably have it in my collection for years to come. So for fragrance that I wish I could buy, I'm going with Italica by Xerjoff. Now, this isn't discontinued, but it is hard to get, and it is also expensive. So somebody I know paid around $400 for a bottle of this, which I think is outrageous, and I actually don't think that I would be willing to pay that much. If I could get this more in like a $200 range, I think that I could pay for that. But again, this is an EU exclusive. It's one you can only find in Harvey Nichols, so it's very hard to get a hold of. It's one that I absolutely love. It's probably the only gourmand that I can think that might actually be better than Black Phantom. So I enjoy that one a lot. And at some point I am going to get it in my collection, but that point is not now, but it will happen one day. The fragrance that made me fall in love with fragrances is Bleu de Chanel. It was for me the Parfum, although I had also smelled the EDP. I think the extra roundedness and smoothness that the Parfum has compared to the EDP is really what did set it over the sky for me. So I find the EDP is great, but it does kind of get a little bit harsh if you smell it a little too close to the skin. But the Parfum has none of that, and I do really, really enjoy it. I've gotten some compliments with that one as well. And it's just one that I think is always going to have that sort of special place, because I still remember the first time I smelled it, and I swear I almost started crying. It was just amazing. I love it, I still love it, and I'm glad that I have it. My guilty pleasure fragrance is Kitten Fur by Demeter, and this one is supposed to smell like kittens. I'm not exactly sure that it does, but it actually smells really good, and it's really enjoyable. And it's kind of weird to think that, hey, I'm wearing kitten fur right now. Is that, if somebody asks you about it, it's one of those things that's a little bit weird to say, but it smells really great, very soothing, very comforting, and I think it's a great fragrance. I actually might even pick up a bottle of this at some point. It's great. And plus, you know what, who doesn't want to smell like a kitten anyways? And for the next one is the fragrance that I should have a full bottle of, but I don't, and that is going to be Mulla by Byron Parfums. Really love gourmand fragrances, and this is a really, really nicely done gourmand. It performs exceptionally well. Very much this beautiful red berry. I get a little bit of strawberry in the opening as well, which I love because I love strawberries. And it has like this caramel sensual dry down that just works so well. So I love that fragrance. I should definitely get a bottle of that one, especially when the warmer months come up. I might even pick up a bottle of it, because it's definitely not something you want to be wearing in the heat. But it is a beautiful fragrance, masterpiece. This is like, I almost want to say it's a 10 out of 10, but it's at least a 9 out of 10. It's very, very good. Very good. So this next one is also probably going to get me a little bit of hate, but there is a little reasoning behind it, so don't get too angry. The fragrance I regret buying is actually REMC by Genre Parfums. It's not that I don't like it, it's that I'm, again, not the kind of person who has like a huge collection. I don't have like 50, 100 bottles. I have a lot of decants, but I don't have a lot of bottles. And I love Voodoo. Voodoo's the one that I love the most. And so if I'm gonna buy a bottle, I want to buy the bottle of the one that I really, really love. I think, in long term, I'll probably have one, maybe two bottles from each of the houses that I really love. That's kind of my plan right now. I guess partially just because I don't want to spend huge amounts of money. But I did actually kind of regret buying that because I love Voodoo. Voodoo is my favorite. I'm Team Voodoo. And so I did end up trading that one for Voodoo, which I'm quite happy about. And again, it's not because I don't like the fragrance, but it's just not as good for me. So Voodoo's the one that I want to wear, and that's the fragrance that I actually do regret buying. And the final category, fragrance that I will buy next, and I think that will be Emperor EDP. I got a sample decant of this. I'm not expecting too much because I'm not a huge Aventus fan, but I've really only smelled newer batches. I did try this out, really enjoyed it. It is actually really nice. I can, understand Aventus a little bit better. And I've definitely gotten a few compliments with that one too, so it's one that other people enjoy as well. And I would definitely like to pick up a bottle. I think that's one that I would be looking for next. So that's it for this list. I'm going to add on to this and make it a tag video, see if anyone responds to this one. And I'm going to add one stipulation, and that is essentially that each category has to be a different fragrance. So you cannot put the same category into two different fragrances. The reviewers that I will tag are casual fragrances, so that's Mr. Fragrances. And I will tag also Scott from Luxury Fragrance Boss. Leave a comment down below with the list. I will keep the list in the description so you can fill it out if you want, if you haven't seen it already on the Facebook groups. But there you go, guys. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.